Yo, and welcome back to the Mass Podcast. Today, we are 1 year removed from 7 Minute Drill dropping by J. Cole and Mike Lee. Later, what we're going to do, we're going to look at the lyrics, we're going to break some down, and we're going to talk about the fallout from that song. So, what I need you to do right now is click the like and subscribe button and tap in with me. Come on. On April 5th, 2024, J. Cole fans were surprised with a 12-track mixtape from Cole. At the very end, track 12, we were given a diss track against Kendrick Lamar. And again, my previous video, this was in response to like that. So if you haven't already checked that video out as well, make sure you go and check that one, yeah? We were given 12 songs and the final one was 7 Minute Drill. Okay, and the thing about 7 Minute Drill is it's named after one of Cole's writing exercises where he writes for 7 minutes, okay? So actually T Minus mentioned this. He said it took him 7 minutes to make that beat, and then J. Cole wrote his first verse in 7 minutes. And apparently according to T Minus, he went back and changed a few things to refine it. But maybe it's the first two verses, well, both the two verses, I'm not too sure. But he said he did in 7 minutes and then went back and refined it for further 7, so he could have finished the whole song in 14 minutes. And for this track, the way it gets broken down, I'm going to talk about it. We know why that's so sick. So, without further ado, let's go break down some of these lyrics. Okay, so we start with the chorus. And he goes, light work like it's PWC. It's a cold world. Keep that heat under your seat. I've got a phone call. They say that somebody's dissing. You want some attention, and it comes with extensions. I always like to say the word. He's on BS. He's itching to put in so much work on the streets. He needs a pension. Told him chill out. How I look having henchmen. Shots get to firing. I'm the one doing the clenching. So at this point, it's kind of addressing the fact that Kendrick Lamar's said something and he's trying to diss. And then people on his side want to get at him basically. He's saying if anyone's going to get at him, it's going to be me. He doesn't want anyone doing his dirty work. Very light. But he starts with addressing that specifically. Next is the first verse. It starts with, I came up in the Ville, so I'm good when it's tension. He's still doing shows, but fell off like the Simpsons. Your first ish was classic, your second ish was tragic. Your third put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Your third was massive, and that was your prime. Was trailing right behind, now I just hit mine. Now front of the line with a comfortable lead. How ironic, as soon as I got it, now he wants something with me. He's caught me at the perfect time, jump up and see. He got here off of bars, not a controversy. Funny thing about it, man, he don't even want their prestige. Putting the Grammys cause them crackers never done anything for me. Ho. Okay, so at this point, it gets a bit more personal at Kendrick. The chorus is quite light, now it gets a bit more personal. He's talking about, he's still doing shows, so Mr. Ryan and the Big Steppers had a really big tour. But he's saying he's fallen off like the Simpsons. The Simpsons started out really good, but it's trailed off and people don't really follow it like that anymore. Now he said Good Kid, Mad City was classic. He said his last album, which was Mr. Ryan and the Big Steppers, was tragic. I agree with that. Second, put niggas to sleep, but they gassed it. Okay, so this one's where the controversy comes, in my opinion. At this point, I think To Pimp a Butterfly, initially, if real, keeping history correct, people found that To Pimp a Butterfly was boring because they just got Good Kid, Mad City from Kendrick. However, for me personally, I don't agree. To Pimp a Butterfly is Kendrick's best album. Okay, now there still was talk, I remember the time specifically, people did find it boring. And as people move forward, they started saying more and more that it was a classic. I think the hip hop purists loved it, but collectively, people weren't taken to it initially. And we've got to keep it 100. Rap purists loved it, but the Kendrick fans from Good Kid, Mad City weren't messing with it. I remember it specifically, especially at school as well. People weren't messing with it initially, so they said it was boring. Okay, now we get to some of the other bars we can talk about. He says he acknowledges he finds he was trailing behind Kendrick at that time, but now from the features and the music Cole's putting out, he said he's in a comfortable lead against Kendrick Lamar. Okay, but now he's saying as soon as Cole's got it now, there's issues, and that, you know what, at this point I'm rapping the best out of everyone here. You call me at the best time, And he's saying the reason he's in this position was straight off the bars, not disses, not controversy in the music. It was his pure rapping, okay? And he was saying the accolades that Kendrick gets, such as the Grammys, he don't care for them. The Grammys ain't done anything for him, so he doesn't care. So I'm thinking in my mind anyway that he cares more about what the fans think of him, okay? And maybe that's what led him to write this song, and then maybe even some of the fallout we go on to talk about next. But we'll continue. Let's move. So then he goes on to say, slugs took my niggas soul, drugs took another one. The rap beef ain't realer than the stuff I've seen in Cumberland. He's averaging a hard verse like every 30 months or something. If we weren't dissing him, we wouldn't be discussing him. But don't make me have to smoke this nigga cause I mess with him. But push comes to shove on his mic, I will humble him. With this thing, this that New Jack City meme. Yeah, I'm aiming at G-Money, crying tears before I bust at him. Okay, so here, this again at this point was very true. Kendrick wasn't doing features, he wasn't putting out music for ages. We couldn't see him. We already saw him pop out on a couple of songs. Well, one with Beyonce, he was with Baby Keem just before he dropped his album, but we don't really hear from Kendrick at all. Do you know what I mean? And this, I think, this part is the heart of J. Cole's diss. He messes with Kendrick. He doesn't want to have to do this, and he loves him like a brother. So if you think back to New Jack City, you understand that's his man. Doesn't want to have to do this, but you have to do this if it comes to that. However, again, fallout, we'll talk about that after this. So let's move on to the second verse. He goes on to say in the second verse, I got mixed feelings about these rap niggas. It's over for the cap. We official cap peelers. 2-6, we get at niggas. We don't at niggas. Shoot a nigga lights up. Yeah, my dog stat feel his stat stuff is triple double. Get your ass splat duffled. Body bag. And he goes, body bag. I don't know why I like that part, but I do. And he goes, body bag. Cold world, your instructor for Pilates class. Get a nigga stretched if I feel the disrespect. Your arms might be too short to box with a god who lives his life without the pressures of a constant facade. I pray for peace, but if a nigga sees these positive vibes, Falcon 9 is in my pocket, man, this rocket gon' fly. Now it's popping, I say it, like the top of July. Man takes flooded, we don't hold nothing for a lie. On the power look for that, would feel like sweating a fly. 4 albums in 12 years, nigga, I can divide. Man, if this is what you want, I'm indulging in violence. Put pictures on my home and the chrome at your eyelids. Feel like pebbles at your dome with the Stone Temple pilots. And he goes, this is merely a warning shot to bat niggas down back in the town where they're whipping, working, trafficking pounds. My jack jumping, rapper making blasphemous sounds, switching sides like the tosser on the cap and the gown. Fully loaded, nigga, I can drop 2 classics right now. Right, at this point, we've got the references again. Well, we had some references earlier from Jay-Z about, he was saying, it was kind of like when he was comparing it to Nas. And he was saying like the first one was good and the last one wasn't good. But this one, we've got about how many albums he's dropped and then saying he can divide. And again, if we go, your arms might be too short to box with a god. That was on... I'm trying to think which Nas song was that. That was a Nas song on Stillmatic. I can't remember which one it is specifically. But that's a Nas lyric. And again, Nas and Jay-Z had a great rap beef. It lasted quite a while. And I took continual shots at each other way into the future. Eventually, they did link up on that DJ Khaled record. So, it did get squashed eventually. Well, officially in public light after about 14 years. It's more than 14 years. What am I on? I'm bugging. About 17, at least. Was it Sorry Not Sorry? I can't remember when that came out. But yeah, I think it's clear that J. Cole has a lot of love for Kendrick Lamar in these bars, and he doesn't even really want to do it. He's told you, he feels like he's switching sides. He feels like he's only doing it for attention. But again, he says he loves his brother, but he's not gonna lie. He's powered up right now and feel like sweating a fly. Like, there's so many times in this song, he says he doesn't really want to do this. And I think that is his heart. I think even on this song, people initially were mad that he wasn't going harder, getting more direct at him. And I think it was on the Joe Budden podcast before when they're like, J. Cole needs to do something hard, but he's not going to do it. Hard as in hard hitting, ambitious against someone like Kendrick Lamar. And I think in terms of what J. Cole needed to do to find out what it was with Kendrick, this was the perfect song to do it. My only issue with this song is when J. Cole came for his discography. I don't think, I don't think for J. Cole's position in rap, that's the area he can go for, because Kendrick, whether you love him or hate him, has a consensus that he's got one of the best rap discographies of all time. So even if he double entendre it, triple entendre it, do whatever, I don't think, even if you had a throwback to Jay-Z, I don't think that was ever gonna get off on most rap fans. Okay, so now we need to talk about the fallout from this record. You gotta remember, this dropped on April 5th, the day before Dreamfield Fest. Now we've got Dreamfield Fest happening today. It's April 5th right now. However, within 2 days, J. Cole took the stage on Dreamville to do something no one has ever seen before and something no one could have ever expected. Check this video out down below.
Moving incorrectly, and I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way, and if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep, and then I can get back to my true path, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I wanna now perform the song that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God. And the name of the song is called Love Yours. I'm for y'all right now.
So many times, Cole is my favorite rapper. However, I gotta be very honest right now. When this initially happened, I was hot. I woke up, because I live in England, I woke up to that on my phone. It weren't late night, I woke up to that thinking everything's calm. Yeah, we went on a Kendrick play, yeah. Nah, I was burning. I just didn't understand any of the reasoning behind it. I'm telling you, for the first day and a half, I was like, nah, Cole can't be number one. It can't be number one. It can't be number one. Are you gonna let man dish you and do nothing about it? And then I was just like, everything was just around my head so much. But then I thought about what he said. Because you know what I was saying? I was even saying at one point, because it's like, spirit, you don't feel good with me, etc., etc. I was like, just be a Christian rapper. Then if you're going to talk about your spirit, like, I can't lie, I was initially so hot about it. However, I thought about it and I thought, I've not even fallen out, but I could say something to a friend and be like, nah, that ain't the move. I was better off not doing that. It's not worth it. And in real life, you can say something and apologize. I think maybe deleting it, you didn't need to delete it. But again, not just me, but hip hop hated the move. It took me a day and a half to get over it, and an explanation, and then my maturity kicked in. I was like, you know what? He doesn't need to do this. It's his piece. He's protecting. And again, where that beef went, it wasn't really his fight, if we're being 100, because there's no way Cole could have won that. And I don't mean he couldn't have taken on Kendrick Lamar head to head. I don't believe that. I think Cole's got better bars in terms of punchline delivery. I don't know about execution. I won't say execution, but just in terms of bar for bar, I think Kendrick Lamar currently is not as good as J. Cole, and I don't think he has been. I've said this for years, not years, I've said this since the start of this year, but since 2017, Kendrick's not been a better rapper than J. Cole, bar for bar. So I'll put that back out there. However, I think if J. Cole had stayed on in that beef, and even if he had won, they'd have been like, it took both Drake and Cole to beat Kendrick. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't make no sense. There wouldn't have been a view of him doing it on his own and being crowned victor. Kendrick played a smart move. He paired them both together. So if he takes down one, he's kind of taken down both of them. And then if he loses, then, he went up against the two giants on his own. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the way it would have been looked at. And again, there was talks that Schoolboy Q had talked to J. Cole. And again, we know Cole is close to the TDE group, probably more close to everyone else than Kendrick at this point, if we're being honest. Again, Absol's gonna be at Dreamville Fest today, I think it is. Dreamville Fest today, Absol's gonna be there, and apparently according to DJ Head on that podcast he does with Jeremy Heck and Elliot Wilson, they're like there's gonna be other artists there, and I don't know if that means performing, or I don't know if that means they're just gonna be in attendance. But you know, J. Cole is close in the TDE group. But even apparently, Daylight was saying he spoke to Cole about it. Cole told him how he feels, and it's like, well, this is how you feel. This is what you can do. He's not saying to do it, but it's what you can do. Like, he publicly dissed him, publicly went out and apologized. And you know what? It takes a man to do that, you know. Because most of us have pride and ego, and we're trying to protect how we look. He said he don't care about how he looks, and my man got on with the rest of his life. But yeah, rap fans hated this. But as this beef has played out, we've seen Cole just continue to put out great features, great music. The music spoke for itself, and I think it goes exactly back to that point he was saying to Kendrick in that song. He's here off the raps. The only misstep he had after the beef in terms of the raps was that grippy tune. Outside of that, it was Port Antonio who dropped. He was on Blow for Blow, Plate of Collard Greens, Clouds, and 3 out of 4 of those were well received. So I think it was anything else. Port Antonio, Plate of Collard Greens, Blow for Blow, Port Antonio. Yeah, and Grip is the only misstep because and you know what, I think that was received even worse because obviously it was just off the back of the beef. But in terms of his rapping since then, it's not been matched really. He set out to do what he's going to do, and he's gone into this Dreamville Fest. Everyone's anticipating the Fall Off album. A lot of great words, what we've heard from people. We've heard it from Trade the Truth. We've heard it from Daylight. We've heard it from people who are working with him. That it's top tier rapping. You know, it's top tier storytelling. And we just can't wait to see what he has moving forward. But yeah, that's been me. I'm signing out. Again, if you appreciated this video, or if you even liked the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Till the next time, I'm out.